Hey everyone, today we're going to break down one of the most important building blocks in English, the simple present tense. Now I know it sounds, well, simple, but really mastering it is the key to sounding natural and confident. So let's dive in and figure out how to get it right every single time. So let's start with a really simple question for you. What do you do every day? Just think about it for a second. Maybe you drink coffee in the morning, or you walk to work, or check your phone. The moment you answer that, you're already using the simple present. It's literally the language of your daily life. Okay, so before we get into all the rules, let's just get on the same page. What exactly is this tense we're talking about? At its core, the simple present is all about things that are consistently true. We use it for stuff like facts that don't change, habits you do all the time, and situations that are pretty permanent. It's basically the foundation for how we describe our world and ourselves. All right, so that's the what. Now for the really important part, the when. Let's look at the 5 main situations where the simple present is absolutely the perfect tool for the job. So as you can see, it breaks down into 5 key uses. First, we've got our daily habits, like I wake up early. Then there are universal truths, things that are always true, like the earth revolves around the sun. We also use it for permanent situations, like he lives in London. And of course, for talking about your likes and feelings. And finally, for fixed schedules, like when you say the train leaves at 8 a.m. See? It covers a ton of ground. Now for the fun part, actually building your own sentences. It really just comes down to a couple of super simple rules. Think of it like a blueprint for getting this right every time. Let's kick things off with the most common one, the positive sentence. This is when you're just stating a fact, and it's where we find the single most important rule of this entire tense. And here it is, the golden rule. Look really closely at the difference here. For subjects like I, you, we, or they, the verb is just its simple, base form. I play. Easy. But, and this is the big one, for a third-person singular like he, she, or it, you've got to add an S to the verb. She plays. Honestly, getting this one little detail right is the secret sauce to mastering the simple present. Great, but what if you want to say no? How do you make a statement negative? Well, that's where our little helpers do not and does not come into play, and the structure changes just a little bit. So to make a sentence negative, we bring in a helping verb. We use do not or just don't for I, you, we, and they, and following that golden rule from before, we use does not or doesn't for he, she, and it. Now here's the really important part. Notice how the main verb, play, goes back to its original form. The S has been taken care of by does. And finally, let's flip these statements around and turn them into questions. How do we ask about all these facts and routines? And would you look at that? The pattern continues. Our helper verbs do and does just move to the very front of the sentence. So it becomes do you play and does she play? See how logical that is? If you can master that one rule for positive sentences, it just carries you through negatives and questions perfectly. Okay, theory is one thing, but seeing these rules in action is where it all really starts to click. Let's check out a few real-world examples. Here's a classic. The sun rises in the east. Why is this simple present? Because it's a universal truth, right? It happens every single day, no exceptions. And notice that S on rises? That's because the sun is like the pronoun it. Next up, she teaches English. This sentence describes her job. It's a regular action, a routine. And since our subject is she, the verb teach gets that es ending and becomes teaches. Perfect. Now here's a good one for expressing a general feeling. Children like chocolates. Here, the subject children is plural, which is just like saying they. So the verb like stays in its simple base form. No S needed here at all. And let's do one more. My brother works in a bank. This describes a permanent situation. And since my brother is the same as saying he, we add that S to the verb, and it becomes works. It's all starting to connect, right? Okay, you've seen the rules, you've seen the examples. I think you're ready. Let's put that new knowledge to the test with a quick little quiz to see if it's all sinking in. Ready? First question for you. She to school every day. Should it be go, goes, or going? Come on. Think about our number one rule for a subject like she. And the answer is B, goes. Of course it is. The subject is she, so we have to add ES to the verb go. You nailed it. All right, question number 2. This time, it's a negative sentence. He, not like tea. Which helper verb do we need here? Is it do, does, or did? You got it. The correct answer is B, does. For negative sentences with the subject he, we always use does not. You're totally getting the hang of this. Excellent work on that quiz. Now, let's just lock in everything we've gone over by boiling it all down to the absolute essentials. So here it is, your cheat sheet. Just remember to use this tense for routines, facts, and schedules. But really, the golden rule, the one to burn into your memory, is all about the subject. For he, she, or it, the verb gets an S in positive sentences, and you use does for questions and negatives. For everyone else, I, you, we, they, you just use the simple verb and do. That's the whole system right there. And that's our quick guide to the simple present. Before you go, I have one last challenge for you. Can you describe your own daily routine in one English sentence? Go on, give it a try. Putting it into practice right now is the absolute best way to make it stick. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.